All right, well, this is just an impromptu live. Let's see how many people join, if any. Look at my hair. I need a haircut. Merry Christmas. Oh, we got one person. KR. Merry Christmas, KR. We're just doing impromptu. Oh, you left. Okay, whatever. Merry Christmas. Okay, what are we doing? We got 2 people here now. I'm burning shit. Merry Christmas, everybody. I'm burning shit. Christmas morning in the van. Oh, that's not going to work out. I didn't put any oil in here. My bad. Not doing so good. Merry Christmas. There's 2 people here. Hi, Merry Christmas. I don't know if KR is still here, but anyway. Hi, KR. Glad to have you here. 1 thumb up. Hey, thanks. Anyway, I'm Nancy. This is Vanlife Jernie. The namesake is over there. Journey's on the bed with Smoke. Somewhere over there. There she is. She says Merry Christmas to everybody, too. It's going pretty good, KR. How about yourself? Are you having a good day so far? I'm just trying to cook a dinner here. Just prepping. Because I have somewhere to go later on today. So don't mind me. I'm just here cooking in the background. Just thought I'd do an impromptu live and say Merry Christmas to everybody. But yeah, how's it going with you, KR? Hopefully it's a good day for you. Did Santa spoil you? Santa didn't spoil me. He doesn't like me very much. I'm always on the naughty list. I'm just cooking up some little vegan chicken strip things in place of turkey. And I'm going to be taking it later with me so I can reheat it to actually a hospice. A friend of mine. No worries here. Good stuff. That's good to hear. A friend of mine, her mom is in hospice, so this is going to be her last Christmas. Sorry to say such sad stuff, but that's reality. That's life. That's, you know. And with life, there comes end of life. So she's on her way out, but she managed to make it to her 85th birthday, which was on December 8th. So, and now she's in hospice. So we're going to have dinner with her. So I'm just making up a dinner, Christmas dinner, impromptu. And I'm going to take it later on tonight. Hopefully everybody's doing well. I don't know how many people will join here. Like I say, this is impromptu, so I just kind of threw it up. I thought, well, hey, what the heck. I got to learn how to give notification and stuff like that. I don't do a lot of videos anymore, and I'm trying my best. I'm going to hope that this year is going to be better. And I've kind of made some promises that I'll put more videos out. So there's, I don't know if you can see that. I've got these vegan chicken strip things right there, and then I've done some stuffing. So I've also steamed up some vegetables, so I'm going to throw those in there. And then we'll take it and I'll just nuke it later when I get there. So there's some greens to go in it, some bok choy. I love these little things. These things are so good. Should I do all of them? I don't know. I'm going to have a bit of lunch here too, so. Alright, I think that's good. So this is cooking in the van. How to cook in the van. a lot of stuff is just instant things. Like this is that stuffing that you just add hot water to and you let it sit and then it turns into a nice stuffing. It's stovetop, you know, that stuff. It's pretty good. It's probably got some bad things in it that I shouldn't be eating, but right now I don't care. And I can't see comments because I don't have my glasses on. KR, I lost my mom last. Oh man, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. It's never easy. And actually, I lost my brother in November as well, but I couldn't see him because he's in England and I'm in Canada. Seems a lot of people are losing people. Helene, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. Thanks for coming. I'm sure she'll enjoy whatever you cook. Well, this stuff that I'm preparing here is just for me, because I don't expect the hospice to feed me, but I'm going with my friend whose mom it is, and her dad will be there too, and I think the hospice is going to take care of them. So they're having turkey, and because I don't eat turkey, I've just made myself some, what are they called? It's this brand. I think that might be backwards, but it's Gardein. It's fake stuff, right? It's vegan stuff. So I'm making that for myself, and then the hospice, because yeah, they're not going to look after me, so I've got my own meal with me. Here's the puppies. Let's say hi. Hey, Smoke. Merry Christmas, buddy. Smokey. Hi, buddy. Smoke is the new addition to the van. We adopted him. Gosh, when did we get you, buddy? Beginning of May? End of April, beginning of May. Hey, bud? Yeah. Holly passed away in February. And Jernie and I went through a bit of a grieving process afterwards. It was very hard. It was tough living in the van without her because she was a big part of this life with us. But then when it was time, and I swear Holly's spirit had something to do with it, we found Smoke. And he's a big part of the van life now too. He's a good boy. He's been through some shit when he was with whoever else had him. And some head trauma, blunt force head trauma. He had a bunch of broken teeth taken out. He had a severe ear infection. What else? He's got some body trauma. He's got a few scars here and there. And he's missing a foot. One of his feet is missing. This one here. Hey, buddy? So it's just a stump. Like where the paw would have, the joint to the paw, it's from there down, is gone. But he's pretty good. He's got arthritis, but he moves around pretty good. Yeah? You being cheeky boy? Are you being cheeky boy? He's like, leave me alone, I'm napping. And of course, Jernie. Yeah? Jernie's still here. Oh. She's 11? I think. What are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? What are you doing? You give me kisses now? Are you? You give me kisses? Good boy. You're such a good boy. And you're such a good girl. Hey, sweetie. Yeah. Yeah, so that's what we're doing. It's just kind of a chill day. We're just getting all this stuff out of the way first. There's I stuck in a bowl and I put it in a Tupperware container so it doesn't spill out. I'll put a lid on it. Then I can microwave it later when I get there. And I've got my own dinner. What did I do with the lid? There it is. So we'll just kind of let that sit there so it cools down a bit and it doesn't blow the lid off. And I'm going to eat the rest of this stuffing while I'm sitting here. KR, I'm a meat eater. Yep, that's your choice. Not going to complain about that. Awesome for a second chance with you, me. Yeah, he's... I think I found him for a reason. He was almost like he was sent to me. Sorry, I'm grabbing a stool. I kind of feel like he was sent to me. Because something told me that I needed... It was time to get another doggo. And... Just lowering that. Do I believe in the afterlife? I don't know. I'm not in a traditional sense. I'm rather spiritual, so I believe that there's something. I believe when we pass away, or when any living being passes away, the energy goes somewhere. So whether or not that energy is still attracted to our energy and it still relates to us, remains to be seen. But I'm very much a believer of that there's something. And I feel like, I kind of feel like Holly's energy sent me in his direction. Or hers sent him to us. So, because it was a bit weird. There was another dog I was looking at, and the more information I got on him, the more I realized he wasn't going to be a good fit for us. Because he was a bigger dog, a little bit more energy, a little younger. They said he was senior, but he was a little bit younger. I think he was only like 7 or 8. And they sent me a video of him, and it was just a little bit too much high energy for this type of lifestyle. So I messaged them. I said, look, honestly, this is the lifestyle I live. Don't think he would work out for us. And they agreed. They said, oh, yeah, no worries. We appreciate your candor. We understand your situation, living in a van and all that kind of stuff. But here, we think this guy might be a better fit for you. So they sent me in this direction. And I got some pictures, and they told me point blank, this is what's happened to him. He's missing a foot. He's special needs. And I said, that's not going to sway me in any way. So I went to see him, and it was like him and Jernie knew each other already. So it was meant to be. Let's catch up on some questions here. Where in BC are you now? I am in the southwestern part of BC, so in the Vancouver area. It's where I'm from originally. I was born and raised in an area called Maple Ridge, just about an hour east of Vancouver. But I'm in the Vancouver area, lower mainland, if you will, for work and stuff. I'm sorry for your loss. Thank you. Yeah, Holly's loss was quite a big, it had a big impact on us. She was a big part of this van life. She was very much a very bold energy, and she was almost like a therapy dog for me, even though she was special needs and needed a lot of attention and special treatment and stuff like that. She was deaf, had hip dysplasia, major anxiety, OCD, ADD. Oh my gosh, it was crazy. But oddly enough, she calmed me. Sally Dunlap. Hello, I caught a live. Hey! Thanks for joining us. I don't really have an exciting live to say anything about, but we can at least have a little Christmas Day chat. I'm just trying to... I'm eating some instant... look at this. It's good stuff, though. It's that stovetop dressing. So I like dressing. Dressing's always been one of my favorite things about Christmas dinner. Merry Christmas to you and your babies. Hello from West Virginia. Oh, that's West Virginia. I'd love to come down to the States and see a bunch of areas down there. West Virginia. What's Carolina, North and South Carolina, like the East Coast. I'd like to spend some time traveling down the East Coast. I've been to Florida, only Tampa though. So I'd like to see more of Florida, like the Keys and uh, why is my brain Orlando? Um, what I'd really like to see is the swamps and see some manatees. That would be my thing. I'd also like to see Louisiana, Texas, and where else have I been? I've been down the West Coast. So down through Washington, Portland, Oregon, seen the sand dunes, sea lion caves, all along the Oregon coast, down into California, all the way down to Sacramento. Oh no, sorry, San Diego. I've been all the way down to San Diego. Beautiful coastline. But I'd love to see the East Coast. New England and, you know, I'll travel down the East Coast and just see what that's like. I haven't even been to the East Coast of Canada, believe it or not. KR, you're in Surrey. Oh, hey. You're just a stone's throw away. You're just across the river, so to speak. Yeah, that's pretty close. What part of Surrey? Whalley? Guildford? Please don't say Whalley. We have lots to say about Whalley. I miss Holly. Yeah, I miss her too. I really, really do. Yeah, she was a big part of this life. And I believe she did send me to smoke. I really do. I think he was sent to us by her. Because he's got a lot of traits that are very much very similar to Holly. He's got the ADD, he's got anxiety issues, he's handicapped, yeah. I swear he's just Holly in boy form. Never really would have thought about getting a boy dog, but he's definitely turned into a mama's boy. You lived in Florida. Sally, you're an ex-correctional officer? Me too. I worked in a prison up here, maximum security for women. Until I was involved in an assault inmate on guard, me being the guard. And she nearly killed me, so I left. Now I have PTSD. Which is probably why I live in a van. Iron Fire Horse, hey buddy. Good to have you here. 10-4 max for men. Oh my gosh. Women are worse. Believe me. Women are far worse than men. Men at least have a little bit of respect for women when you're a guard. Although there's some dicks out there. But women? Oh my God, you never want to work with women. Never. I mean, no offense to women out there, because I'm one myself, but yeah, you never want to work in a women's prison. They're just... See you next Tuesday. Ended up with a dog this summer when camping and how did you end up with the dog, Iron Fire Horse? Did you find it, or did somebody give them to you, or you just... How did that happen? I'm happy for you, because, yeah, dogs are just great. Serial killers, that would be fascinating. To be honest, that would be a fascinating scenario. As much as I'd want to just obliterate them and take them off the face of the planet for what they've done, it would be seriously interesting to get into their heads and just talk to them and listen to what they have to say, if anything. I believe that about women. When they turn, yeah. Working with men I'd much prefer dealing with men and working with men. Much prefer that. Because men are very, hey, you're pissing me off. And then that's it. You know, over and done with, they shake hands. And it's like, hey, man, okay, now we're on the level. We get each other. You pissed me off and we dealt with it. Done. Women are devious. Women are backstabbing. And they may tell you to your face, oh yeah, no, we're good. But you're not. They'll go around you, over you, under you, behind you, anywhere but face you. So yeah. Yeah, child offender, what am I trying to say? Child molesters, serial killers, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I got no fucking space for that. I wouldn't even want to sit and talk to them. I wouldn't want to get in their head. They're just evil. So I'd want to kill them. To be very blunt. I wouldn't, there's no time. You're a waste of oxygen. Bye. They're only worth the cost of a bullet and a shallow grave. Pay somebody to dig the shallow grave. That's it. That's all they're worth. But that's my opinion. Maybe strong. Maybe too much for some people, but that's my opinion. You're just a waste of fucking oxygen as far as I'm concerned. And you need to go. Yeah, no, you can't have them in general pop either, because the other inmates will kill them. They won't last. Jeffrey Dahmer. I mean, I don't know that he was really a pedophile per se, but just based on the nature of his crimes, as soon as General Pop got a hold of him, he was done, gone, bye. And they'll kill any, if it's crimes against women, like violence against women or children, you're done. You'll be in PC for the rest of your life. And you'll be lucky if PC inmates don't kill you. Bundy. Oh. Yeah, he was an interesting character, that guy. Had a friend of mine that is absolutely, and this is the friend whose mom is in hospice right now. She's dead certain that Bundy nearly picked her and I think it was her cousin. He nearly picked them up because he had come up here to Vancouver at one point and he was driving around because she remembers his VW Bug and she swears up and down it was him that almost picked them up. I'd have to talk to her and maybe I can get her on camera talking about it, but I'd have to talk to her again and get the details. But yeah, she told me once. She swears up and down it was Bundy. And we had, when I was a kid up here in the Lower Mainland, we had, what the hell was his name? Clifford Olson. He was out and about when I was a teenager, early teenager. And he picked up one of his victims. Her name was, God, it's so many years ago, Louise Chartrand. Louise Chartrand. And she worked at I think it was a Beano's restaurant that we had in Maple Ridge. One of those 24/7 places that used to be back in the day, in the 80s. Beano's. She was a waitress there and she was on her way to work and she was hitchhiking, which wasn't uncommon back then in our neighborhood because it was fairly safe. Anyway, Olson was in the area. He picked her up and she never made it to work. He killed her. And her mom worked at, I think it was her mom, worked at the bank that my parents used to go to. I remember her mom. And that was right in my neighborhood. pretty scary. Iron Fire Horse, sorry, I'm just catching up with your comments here. Long story short, I drove almost 8 hours driving and brought one back to camp. She's wonderful. That's awesome. What kind of dog, Iron Fire Horse? What's the breed? Mixed breed or anything specific? You can hear Smoke snoring. Yeah, so, well, chat is kind of not moving right now. Yeah, we're just sitting in the van here. Vanlife Jernie, welcome. My name is Nancy. I have 2 dogs, Smoke and Journey, which the channel is named after. And we're just having, I just made a dinner to take with me. I'm going someplace to spend Christmas dinner with my longtime friend's mom, who's in hospice. This is her last Christmas, so we're going to spend that up there. And I made myself a dinner to take, and I'm just eating some leftover stuffing here and having what are we having? Hot chocolate. Oh, oh my gosh. A Great Pyrenees. Holy smokes. That's a big pup to have in a van. You need a bigger van for sure. Mine, I mean, I don't know if yours is as big as a ProMaster, but I've got the ProMaster 3500, and it's a high top. It's the extended version with the 159-inch wheelbase. I chose it specifically because I had 2 big dogs. So a Great Pyrenees. I would only be able to have the 1 dog if I had a Great Pyrenees in this van, because 2, these aren't really even, are they really considered large dogs, these ones? I think they're more medium, borderline large. Holly was getting large. She was around, when she was the healthiest and in her prime, she was around somewhere between 70 and 80 pounds. She was a Dogo Argentino cross. So I guess, yeah, she was a large dog. Journey is about between 50 and 60 pounds. And I think Smoke, when he was weighed at the vet, when I got him, he was about 48, 49 pounds. So these 2, I think, are the biggest I would want. Dodge Grand Caravan. Yeah, with a Great Pyrenees. Oh my God. That's a little cramped. That is a little cramped. But they're great dogs, though. They're pretty chill, super laid back. But they're a formidable opponent. If somebody tried to poke their nose in your van that wasn't welcome, I think a Great Pyrenees would certainly be intimidating enough. I've helped with rescue, all including wildlife. Nice. We do. We can learn a lot from animals, for sure. Sally's got a German Shepherd. Nice. I've got a friend of mine that has a white German Shepherd that she got. Her name is Halo. The dog's name is Halo. And I think she came from somewhere down in the States. I'm not sure where, though. But my friend has been training her, and she's been enrolled in tracking. So she's been doing some search and rescue kind of stuff. And recently, a dog got lost in Vancouver, and my friend was contacted, and so she brought Halo to this place. It was a huge golf course out, I think in UBC, on the grounds in UBC. And it took a couple of hours, but Halo found the dog. So she's an amazing tracker. Super, super keen sense of smell. Beautiful dog. Beautiful dog. Never left the cat. That's good because, yeah, I mean, Great Pyrenees, they usually use them as like livestock guardian dogs, don't they? So they're meant to be out with the wildlife, or not the wildlife, but the farm animals that people have, and they kind of stick with them. Maybe this dog wandered away and got lost and never found their way back. So maybe that's why they want to stick around. They're afraid to get lost again. I won't be doing full-time van life. I thought you were. Oh, no, maybe not. Yeah, I thought you were, but yeah. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. All right, that's it for the stuffing. Yeah, livestock guardians. They usually use the Great Pyrenees. I know somebody in Penticton, another friend of mine that has horses and such, and she's got a couple of Great Pyrenees on her farm, and they're her livestock guardian dogs. Rundown farm didn't want the females. Wonder why that is. Maybe the males make better guard dogs? I don't know. I think women in general are a little more aggressive, aren't they? Maybe I'm just thinking back to the prison days. Border collies, yeah, for herding. Border collies are very much a herding mentality. It's inbred, right? They just want to herd everything. And if you have a border collie with children, if you have children in your family, they always want to fucking herd the children. And they're nippy. They nip at the heels and stuff, so they can end up biting. Not the best dogs to have if you have kids. Yeah, I would have thought females more aggressive. That's what I would have thought too. But who knows? Multiply. Yeah. Yeah, if you don't fix them, right? No inbreeding. Yeah, understood. That can happen. Border Collie, love my granddaughter. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure that they're very loyal. They're very loving dogs. My dad used to have them because he's English, so he had several of them. Not all at once, but he had one. The one he had named Nikki was a little bit nippy, and my dad was just terrible at disciplining the dog and training them not to be like that. So the dog ended up nipping somebody. I don't think my dad got in trouble. The dog never was put down or anything like that. So it wasn't a severe nip, but it was enough that, it shouldn't be happening. Shouldn't be biting people. But that's just, Nikki had some anxiety issues, I think, too. Because border collies can be a little high strung. And I guess, a lot of that's due to inbreeding too, but he was a great dog. He was a beautiful dog, lovely dog. That's many years ago now. But my dad had a few more after that. Oh, well, better to be with you than to get shot. That's stuff I don't agree with. Don't get me started on that. I have some pretty strong opinions about that kind of treatment. Be responsible. Humans know better than that. And then in some areas, especially in the country, in farmland and stuff like that, if a dog wanders onto your property, a lot of these farmers just shoot them because they think they're a threat to their wildlife and or their farm animals. And maybe it can happen, but does the dog need to be shot just for that? It's the person who had the dog, whoever the owner is. Go after them, because they're the ones that are responsible for the dog roaming around causing havoc in the first place. So it's not the dog. Dog doesn't need to be shot. It's a strong topic for me because back when I was really, really little, probably just not long after I was born, my sister told me about a time when my dad, we had 2.5 acres where I grew up. And this was my dad's mentality too. We didn't have farm animals at the time, I don't think. Although we might have had chickens and ducks or something. But a German Shepherd wandered onto the property. It was a female. And my sister told me that my dad shot and killed it. Just for being on the property. Like, what the fuck? I hate my father. I hate my father. And that upset me because ever since then, like, I've wondered, I vaguely remember it. So I must have been 3-4 years old, maybe. But I vaguely remember something about it. But how would the owners have felt? Their dog never came home, not knowing that somebody had shot and killed it and then buried it in the back field. Buried it. I hate my father. I hate him. There's a lot of reasons I hate him. Pouring rain. Oh, man. Yeah, it was raining a little bit earlier here, but it seems to have calmed down now. It's just gray and cloudy. Owners are definitely responsible. Definitely. I would never let my dogs run around free. I would never just kick them out of the van, let them go and do their thing. And I'm very... See, this is my OCD. I'm very protective. I need to know where they are. And even if Jernie wanders too close to the road, I'll freak out. This thing is moving around too much. What the hell? Why is it moving? Oh my gosh. Stop moving. There we go. So while I've got 4 people here, and thank you so much for joining us. This is fun. Even though there's only 4 people here. I'm not much for big crowds anyway. Even though I can't see you. Thanks for joining. Here's something I want to put out there and just get some feedback from the 2 of you that are commenting on here, or anybody else that wants to pipe in. What would you feel about me sort of using this channel to kind of go into it's still going to be about my life and my van life and my journey and the dogs and stuff like that, but I want to know what people think about maybe touching upon the topic of solo female van dwellers and solo female empowerment with van dwelling, to offer a venue for people to sort of connect and be able to talk about and discuss van life with women, solo women in van life, as a support group kind of thing. So what do people think about that? Any feedback on that? Let me know. Pack of dogs running around. Yeah, see, that's people. People have let that happen. And it's not the dog's fault, because after a while, dogs, you have to understand, dogs are derived from wolves. So there's always going to be that little bit of instinct in there that's wild still. So if they get out a lot of them have a lot of good instincts to be able to revert back to survival, and they'll find ways to survive. And this is what happens when dogs that run around loose end up breaking into barns and stuff like that and killing chickens, because it's their natural instinct kicking in to hunt and survive. Two men early one morning thought they could grab one of my no, not with me. Oh my God. And they didn't see my shepherds. Yeah, see, if that was me in that position, it wouldn't be my dogs they'd need to worry about, because I would go ballistic. If anybody ever touched my dogs, you would see one freaking angry Irish woman. Yeah. No, you don't touch my dogs. Don't even try. I'm up for that, even though I don't plan on going full-time anymore. Oh yeah, with the topic of like solo female van dwellers and empowerment. Yeah, like as a support system, a support avenue, something to be able to connect and get people that are of like mind. Some people that are thinking about it, but they're not sure, and they don't really have the courage or the intestinal fortitude, if you will, to jump into it. So they're not sure. Maybe they don't have a support network. Maybe there's people in their life, like a lot of van dwelling people have other family members or friends that are very negative about it. Oh, what do you want to go and do that for? What? You're just a homeless bum, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? So it's kind of nice to be able to connect with other people that are of like mind and have this experience, and to be able to offer that experience. Like I've been in, this is my 4th Christmas in the van. In March, it'll mark 4 years, beginning of March 7th, I think. So that'll be my 4-year van life anniversary, which to me it's amazing, because I don't see myself getting out of this. It's offered me a lot of freedom financially and just personally. It's offered me so much freedom. I've encountered a lot of shitty landlords. I've encountered a lot of shitty roommates and stuff like that. So I just don't want to deal with that anymore. And I've lost a lot of money going in other people's pockets, to pay their mortgage. Excuse me, the last place that I was renting from before I moved into my van, I was paying nearly $1,000. No, sorry, just over $900. So yeah, nearly $1,000 a month just for a bedroom. And then I had the ability to share the bathroom and the kitchen. But this person that I was renting the room from turned out to be real sketchy, and had a bunch of sketchy people coming and going. He never locked the door of the house, the front door. And even when I asked for a key and to be able to lock the door, he said no. So I locked my bedroom. And because I had dogs, and if there were times where I went out and didn't take the dogs, I wanted to know that they were safe. So I locked my bedroom, put a locking doorknob on it, and I would lock the door. So, but it started to become volatile, and he was becoming aggressive, and I just decided, yeah, not for me anymore, and I don't even want to go through the headache of trying to find a place. So I'm out. And I had done my research on the vans and picked out the ProMaster, and I made my decisions that way. And I was in a financial situation where I was able to get this type of van. And I'm very fortunate for that. I was working for Amazon, and I had shares. I had stock in Amazon. So when I left, I got a package to leave. So every year they would offer employees that had been there for a while, they would offer them an option. So you can either stay or you can leave, and we'll give you X amount of dollars. And it wasn't a small amount. It was a few thousand. And then with that on top of the stocks that I had when I cashed them out, I was able to get into this van. I also had a pickup truck that I was able to use as a trade-in against it as well. So for me, it worked out. And I was very fortunate to be in that position. If I hadn't done it when I did, I would not be in that position right now. I would not be sitting in a brand new Pro Master. Well, it's a 2019, but you know what I mean. For me, I bought it brand new. I special ordered it because I wanted to know where the van came from, what the history on it was, what the mileage was, everything. I wanted to know what the mechanical history was, the maintenance. So, and just to ease my mind, so I'm not worrying about, well, is it going to break down anytime soon around the corner, up the back road? Am I going to have an engine issue? Yada yada. Because I didn't. With a used vehicle, you just don't know. You can only assume that the owner is being honest with you and telling you that this vehicle runs, these are the maintenance records, yada yada. But not everybody's honest. So I felt much better getting into a brand new vehicle, so I knew what was going on. Oh, there's a squirrel out there. Oh my goodness, it's a gray one. Sorry, see? ADD, squirrel! I don't know if you can see him, he's going up the tree. He went up the tree and he's sitting on a branch now. See? ADD. Squirrel! So yeah, I wanted that peace of mind to know that, yeah, I know exactly what's been going on with this van. It's got regular oil changes. I know the history, where it's been, what it's done. It hasn't had any accidents. There's nothing underlying that's being hidden. Do you know what I mean? So it was just a better bet for me. But if I had waited, I would not be in a position right now to be able to get a brand new vehicle. So I took the opportunity when I had it. I'm behind on the comments here. Sally is saying, I'm armed. Good for you. I wish we had the freedom to have guns up here. Because believe me, I'd carry. Solo will help others learn. I think so. I think so. Just to be able to connect and hear other people tell their stories and talk and say stuff in the comments and chit chat back and forth. I think that would be great. And then people could, just tell me topics that they might like to touch upon regarding that. And then I can make a list, and then we could do a live, or I could do a video on it. And we can go through that list and touch upon all of that stuff. Pardon me, and have like a Q&A, if you will. I think there's a market, if you want to call it that. I think there's a market for that. I really do. But I wanted some feedback from you guys to see what you think about it. Do you think it would be a good idea? Do you think it would be a topic that would be interesting? And would it keep people's attention? Because I don't feel like I'm not like Emmy. I'm not like Chrome. I'm not like Joseph. I'm not like Jeffy Bear. Or, I haven't seen Mark the Paint Guy for a while. I hope he's okay. I think he's in Nelson now. Nelson, BC. For all I know, Mark might be watching. In any case, Merry Christmas, Mark. Like I say, I've got my anxiety issues, and I've got issues up the yin yang. That doesn't everybody. I'm not the best with the camera, and I'm not the best at talking, and I tend to sometimes be a little bit more mellow than I need to be on camera, or that I should be on camera. And I can be a little bit, I don't know, when I'm in that mellow state, I find it depressing. And I battle with depression, I'm not going to lie. But I don't want it to be boring or depressing for you guys. Like, I want to be able to, I wish I could be like Matt from Vanlife Plus. I wish I could be bouncy and kind of like play a character. Do you know what I mean? That'd be fun. But I've never been that person, as much as I try. But I think, I'm pretty sure that I can hold people's attention with this sort of topic that I'm talking about. Talking about female solo van dwelling empowerment, and just to be able to give people that boost, that sense of camaraderie, if you will, to connect, if that makes any sense. And I think it would be good to connect other people that are in a similar situation, and then they can feed off each other and bounce ideas or questions off of each other. I think it would be great. But yeah, again, like I say, that's just in my mind, and I think it's great, but I would like to hear from you guys to see what you think about it and get your feedback as well, because, well, you guys are the audience. I'm not out there watching me. So I'm just wondering what you guys would like to see and hear. See more of the horse videos. I know. I miss the horses. But they're in Salmon Arm. And I've been stuck down here in the Lower Mainland, Vancouver area with work and stuff. I was working in Kelowna for a bit, and Kamloops, which is not that far from Salmon Arm. So when I was there, on the weekends and the holidays, I was able to get to Salmon Arm within a reasonable amount of time, like an hour, hour and a half. Whereas from here to go there, it's like a 5-hour drive. It's a long way. Not that I wouldn't go. And if Belinda ever had, like when that one bucking horse that that she saved, Her Majesty was her name, when she gave birth, she was pregnant, she gave birth last year, but unfortunately had ruptured a uterine artery and bled out internally. We didn't know. Well, Belinda didn't know. The vet didn't know. And then she lost so much blood that she eventually just passed out and died. And the baby was he was about 24 hours old. So the little guy, that emergency, as it happened, it was in May, so not quite a year ago. It was on my birthday too. I flew out there. Like I dropped everything and I drove and I went out there and I helped her. So we had to bottle feed him 24/7 for a few days. And I stayed out there, I think about a week. And because I'm in the van, I was able to park on the property, and I was there so I could wake up in the middle of the night every couple of hours and go out and feed him his bottle and just check on him and make sure he was okay. It was touch and go, but we pulled him through it, and he is, he'll be a year old in May on the 20th. So that was I don't want to say fun. It was an experience, and he was so cute when he was little. He was just so cute. He was so intent on drinking his bottle. He thought that we were his mom. But it was so sad at the same time, heartbreaking, because we lost her. But yeah, I wish I was closer to the horses. I would do more videos on that, for sure. Your back is munched. Oh no, I've got back issues too. I feel ya. It's not fun. I'm sorry to hear that. KR, thank you for sharing your life with us. Are you? Is it me you're talking about? You're welcome. It's kind of unorthodox for me to share my life because I'm very private, but like I just don't want people knowing anything about me. for the most part. But this, I feel more open doing this. If it's kind of weird, if it makes any sense. It's easier opening up to a camera and people who I know are actually people out there. But for me, it's like, oh yeah, you know, it's just an audience that I've never seen before, so it's kind of imaginary. I know you guys aren't imaginary. I'm not that crazy. But I find, like, if I meet people in real life, I don't want to tell them squat about me. Like, I just don't. And then people tend to not really show interest in getting to know me because, well, I don't share anything, which I don't blame them. Because I don't talk about myself. But here I do. I don't know why. It's weird. I feel safe doing it. There's probably, I mean, yeah, it's not probably, there's lots of stuff I haven't said about me, but, you know, if I feel comfortable enough to share it, then I will. I'm glad you've been on again. Thanks, Iron Fire Horse. I need to kick myself in the ass. I'm a procrastinator big time, and that's part of my procrastination is a big part of what is it? ADHD, I think. And I've been like that all my life. I had a hard time in school, even though I got good grades when I did apply myself. I got really good grades. I was one of those that left everything to the last minute, studying and even doing projects or homework. I left everything to the last minute. It's like, I don't want to do it right now. And then I would leave it to the very last minute. And then I'd be frantic and I would have anxiety and I was, oh my God, I got to get this done because, well, you know, I'm just too much of a procrastinator. And then I would rattle it off and I would fear, I'm just going to fail it anyway. But I wouldn't. I would get a half decent grade. And I just, so I know I've got it. It's just I have issues. CPTSD. Mainly caused by my father. Which, yeah, shooting a German Shepherd in our own backyard, killing it and then burying it and thinking that was okay. That was, yeah, not cool. I really don't like my father very much. There's a lot of things I don't like him for. Maybe we'll get into that at a later time. Not much of a talker myself. Life has told me not to. Yeah, I mean, I think you get it, right? It's like, there's a lot of people out there. I don't want to paint the human race completely with a nasty brush. But yeah, there's a lot of people out there that really are just they go through life extremely selfishly, and that's all they think about is me, 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 me. And they show false interest. I'm sure people out there that I'm talking to right now can relate. You've encountered people that show false interest. So it's like, oh yeah, yeah, oh gee, really? But meantime, they're thinking, oh my God, is this person ever going to shut up? And why are they telling me about this? Because I really don't care. I don't like that about humans. I really don't. My mother taught me some good things. She died when I was 16, so I didn't have her for a long time, but I learned a lot from her because she went through some shit when she was younger too, and faced some discrimination and even from her own family for her thoughts on religion. She was Catholic, Irish Catholic. But yeah, that's another story. Negative people who are fake. Yeah, that's even worse, right? Like, yeah. But I think you know what I'm talking about. I think you know those types of people, right? So it's hard to open up to people because you don't know who's genuine and who is actually really honestly interested in what you have to say and wants to know about who you are. Even family members. Like I've got a brother who I don't get along with. He's the one that's still alive. I lost one just in November, but the one that is still remaining, him and I don't see eye to eye. And he's one of those types. He's very narcissistic, very selfish. And yeah, we've had our issues. Time alone in a year and a half. Yeah, I mean, you know who your tribe is, right? So in life, some people have lots of friends. Some people thrive on that. Some people just they can't go through life or exist without having loads and loads of friends or acquaintances, if that makes any sense. Acquaintances are different than friends. Acquaintances are people that you know, but you may not know them very well, and you may not see them a lot. So they're acquaintances. But then there's friends. Friends are a little different. Authentic friends are even more rare. So, like for me, I've known a lot of people in my life, and I still know a lot of people in my life, but my actual friends that I trust and know would never be fake with me, can count them on one hand. And, you know, I think that holds true with a lot of people, especially when you live with any kind of PTSD and anxiety issues, because a lot of us relate. Like there's one friend that I worked with in corrections, and I've known her since then, and that's going back to early 90s. She's also got her share, and a few other friends that I worked with in corrections. We all have our PTSD. And like I said, when I was there in the prison, there was a situation where an inmate went ballistic because she was jonesing for drugs, and she wasn't able to get any internally in the prison. So she decided to take all that out on me, and nearly killed me. So I still have major issues because of that. There's still some things that I can't, that it just doesn't sit well with me, and it sets me off. They're triggers, right? That's what you say. They're triggers. But it doesn't help when I also come from a background where, as a child, I had situations with my father and experiences with my father. Nothing weird, so let's clear that up. But just stuff that about him, who he was and what he did, and how he treated my mom. So I have issues with that too. So it doesn't, and then it's compounded with the PTSD from when I was almost killed in the prison. Yeah. And I think I've got a little bit of neurodivergency. I never know how to pronounce that. I've been researching that and sort of reading up on it, and it seems to make a lot of sense. So I'm pretty sure I'm a little bit neurodivergent as well, and I'm not sure if I'm on the spectrum. Yeah, I think a lot of people can relate, Sally. There's a lot of people out there that can relate. A lot of people don't realize that they are suffering from stuff like that. I don't think a lot of people realize it. I don't think it's necessarily anything that they've been educated on, which is a shame, because if they don't understand it or realize it or get it treated or try to do something to combat it, it can cause a lot of problems. I think this is like where serial killers, like we're on that topic again, people that deviate to that sort of really violent lifestyle. These are people, I believe, that they haven't been treated. definitely not treated. And they've experienced some shitty treatment in their life because of it. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I kind of think from a psychological standpoint, I think that's true to a certain extent. On the spectrum, yeah. Yeah, see, there's, and we all kind of relate, right? So this could even be a topic, Iron Fire Horse. This could be something, because I think, in my own opinion, I really highly believe that this is also a common denominator in van life and why people choose van life. I really strongly believe that that's, I don't think it's just necessity. In some cases, it may be just necessity. But I think in a lot of cases where people have chosen this lifestyle, I believe that this is the foundation. I believe that this is probably one of the underlying denominators, the common denominator of why some of us choose this lifestyle. And it's because of that. And I think it would be really interesting to delve into that topic a little deeper. And again, let me know. Give me your feedback. Tell me what you think about that. Is it something that people would be interested in seeing or hearing a conversation on? I think so. I don't know that there's any real van life channels out there that I've seen or come across that dive into or touch upon this topic. Have any of you seen any video YouTube channels or anything out there that is even remotely to do with this? Or is it all these fancy schmancy professional build-outs, people with money, temporary van lifers, travel van lifers out there? Do any of them touch upon the mental health side of it? I don't think I've ever seen any of them. It's interesting. Maybe I'll do a deep dive on that and see what I might be able to come up with. But I feel like I feel like there would be value to be had in touching on that subject, because mental health plays a big role in this. At least for me, I know it does. So would it be something that people would be interested in, do you think? Because I think then once people find out that, hey, I'm not the only one, I'm not the only weird person, if you will, and I'm going to use this, weird, because what is weird and what is normal? We all go through life with something. There's not one of us on this planet that is normal, if whatever normal is. This is the way I am. And I'm sure that I'm not the only one. Not the only one. But would it be interesting and comforting to know that there's other people out there that are willing to talk about it? I think so. I think there's great value to be taken from it. Absolutely. Emmy has. She's touched upon it. I think even Chrome has touched upon it. And everybody knows, I've said it repeatedly, Chrome is my mentor. Yeah. But do they actually, have they actually dug deeper? Or have they just kind of scratched surface? I think Chrome did a video a couple of years back now. And this was, I think it was first year when I got into the van, after I had seen all of his videos, and he's the one that gave me the push. He did a video on his addictions. He talked about that. And it was a good video, and everything that he talked about made perfect sense to me. But there was a lot of negative feedback. A lot of people saying, oh, you're invalidating people who are recovering addicts and all this kind of stuff. But his perspective made a lot of sense to me. Crystal clear sense. But for some, I can see where it's kind of a different sort of, they view it differently, because it's still an ongoing battle for them. People that are, alcoholics and well, recovering drug addicts and all this kind of stuff. Whereas he said he was into the drugs, and he said that he was no longer a recovering drug addict, so he was no longer an addict. And it upset a lot of people, but it made perfect sense to me because, well, it would be like me saying, I'm a recovering correctional officer. I'm not. I worked in corrections, and when I was in corrections, and maybe when I was off on short term after the assault, I was still a correctional officer. But once I left, no longer a correctional officer. I can't even say I was. Like, I mean, I was, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm not a recovering correctional officer. I'm no longer a correctional officer. So from his point of view, for being an addict, he kicked it, never went back. At least he says he's never gone back. So in his mind, and it makes perfect sense to me, he's not a recovering addict any longer. He is no longer an addict, period. But that upset a lot of people because they don't feel that, they still feel that they're recovering. Because I guess it's a constant battle, absolutely. You still want to go back to it, but some people are not really, honestly, truly addictive personalities. I don't know. Maybe I'm going in a direction that I shouldn't, but just trying to explain my perception of it. Didn't see that video, but gosh, I can't even remember. It was a few years ago now. I think it was in the first year that I was in the van. But yeah, it was a good video. I don't know if he's got them segregated off into certain topics or not, but if you can, I mean, he's got thousands of videos now. Go back and see if you can take a look at it. It was just a candid one. He was just sitting at a picnic table and he just said, yeah, we're just going to have a chat. And it was a good one. Yeah, Emmy hasn't dug deep. She's scratched surface, and that's her comfort zone. That's fine. And I even give her kudos for doing that, because it's not easy to talk about, because it is a topic that not a lot of people want to hear. And that's another thing with humans. The finicky side of the human being is, we do this superficial, oh, hey, how you doing? How are you today? But if you were to turn around and say to somebody, and I've had a friend do this to me too, oh, how are you today? And I've been completely candid and honest, and I'm like, to be honest, not having a good day, not doing very good at all. This was after my brother had passed away, which is not that long ago. To be honest, not doing good. And her response was, oh, well, that's too bad. Anyway, sorry, gotta go. Right? Nobody wants to hear it. It's very rare that you will find a friend or have a friend or meet anybody that, if you were to be honest in that response and say, I'm not having a good day, what is the percentile, what is the percentage chance that that person that had asked you how you're doing and you tell them not doing good, what is the percentage of chance that they would say, well, I'm sorry to hear that. Do you feel like talking? Like, are you okay? Do you want me to sit here and just sit with you? What's the percentage of people out there that would actually do that? Probably not many. I've don't think I've ever encountered that myself. And like I said, this friend of mine who is a good friend of mine. And I actually said, to be honest, I'm not doing too good today. I'm not doing good at all. And her response was, well, I'm sorry to hear that. Anyway, I gotta go. That's a kick in the teeth. It is a kick in the teeth. And to the person who's not doing good, it can even make them feel worse, because you're invalidating their honesty, their feelings, how they're feeling. They're not doing good. And if that person is not doing good, the last thing they want to hear is a condescending answer. Having a hard time with English today. Condescension is very damaging. Or mocking. I'm not that she would mock me, but just the condescending or the dismissive. That's the word I'm looking for. The dismissive response. It's damaging. Kick in the teeth, and it says what kind of... Well, I do believe that she tries. I do believe that she has good intention. However, I also believe that she's very... I believe she suffers from narcissism, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that she has a very narcissistic personality. She will quickly turn the topic onto herself. It doesn't matter. And she, like, I went there a few days ago to pick up. She lets me use her mail address, so I had some mail that went there. So when I went to pick it up, I was inside, and she showed interest in how I was doing, and I said, no. She tried to give me a hug, and I've never been one for giving hugs, and that's another topic. that triggers me. So I shied away from the hug, and I'm like, honestly, I'm sorry. No, not comfortable right now. But rather than say, okay, well, what's going on? Like, are you okay? Do you want to talk about this? Anything? She just changed the subject right away and went onto herself and all these clothes and shit that she bought herself, and shoes. And again, maybe it's just uncomfortable feelings. Maybe people are just uncomfortable. Maybe they just need to change the subject because maybe it makes them uncomfortable. But again, it's just maybe I'm being putting too many expectations out there. I don't know. But see, this is a topic, and it's good for debate, and it's good to hear other people's versions of why this would upset them or what they think of it. You know what I mean? Dealing with a young man who took his own life. Indifference of his surviving. Yeah, see? I mean, I don't know the circumstances of the young man, but family members even. Like, it just... My brother is a narcissist. He's an alcoholic. He's a narcissist. He's not a... I don't get along with him at all. And he would be like that. Like, he would probably be like that. I don't know what his reaction is to my other brother's death. I'm not sure, because I don't talk to him. I just can't be bothered with him. He's done some pretty shitty things to me, and he's said some shitty things to me, and he used to call me pork chop because I was a heavier set person in... When was that? Early 2000s, mid 2000s. Yeah, he used to call me pork chop. He used to pin me down when I was a kid, and sit on me, and tickle me until I couldn't breathe. And I would panic. So this is where I don't like being hugged. He used to chase me out of the house. He'd be pissed off at me and chase me out of the house for saying something silly. I was a kid. There's 11 years difference between him and I, by the way. So I was a fair bit younger than him. But this is just the kind of prick that he was. And he's still a prick. He's an alcoholic prick now. And he came into... I was renting a basement suite from him. And I had decided to start my own little business of dog walking and pet sitting and stuff like that. And because I was renting the basement suite from him, and with a business, you can write part of your home off as like a tax break or whatever. So you can claim it. So I had asked him, I said, would you mind, because he wasn't giving me rent receipts. So I asked him for rent receipts from that point on to be able to claim it as a business expense. And he got pissed off at me. And then he came down. He told me, you're not a renter, and I'm not giving you rent receipts. You don't rent from me. Well, then what's all this money I'm giving you every month? Is that not rent? And then I'm renting. No, you're not renting for me, your family. So I'm not giving you rent receipts. And I said, really? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. You gave me a rental agreement. We both signed it. So I'm a renter. I don't care if you're family or not. You rent to me. It's legal. It's on paper. And I pay you monthly. That's a renter. And he got more pissed off and he stomped out. And then he came back later. He was pissed drunk. He barged into my suite, which is illegal, by the way. And then he proceeded to argue with me. And then he assaulted me. He pushed me. And I fell over the back of my couch. So I went to the police and I filed a report for assault. And he didn't like that, so he evicted me. That's my brother. So him and my father are kind of the same. And, yeah. But even family can be, yeah, not cool. I'm just trying to see the comments here. Sorry, I'm not, I'm uncomfortable with hugs. Yeah, it's suffocating to me. And that's one of the reasons why, is because he used to sit on me and I couldn't breathe, and he would tickle me until I couldn't breathe. And I just can't stand it. I don't like that close. It's suffocating for me. I could talk about this stuff for hours. No one else wants to in my life, my online life, offline, sorry. Yeah, like, see, and I kind of feel like, and this is why I'm asking, because I want to put it out there and see what the feedback is. I want people to tell me, is this something that would be interesting? Because if it is, we'll definitely go down that avenue. I have no problem doing it. I think there would be great value to get out of this. And I think it would help a lot of people too, to be able to get to that point that they know, hey, this is, I'm not going crazy. I'm not weird, or I'm not that different. And again, what is weird? What is normal? It's human that we put these, we make up these definitions, and we put expectations on those definitions, and we're like, oh no, you've got to go this way. Society wants you to go this way, and you have to do this, 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 and this in order to stay going this way, and that's normal. Well, it might not be normal for everybody. And so the people that deviate from this path and they go this way instead because it's more comfortable for them, or it makes more sense, they're the ones that are considered, well, you're just a fucking weirdo. Why are you going that way? Why are you doing that? That's weird. You're not doing the same thing that all us sheep are doing. So therefore you must be weird and we need to shun you. And that's what humans do. We get into this mentality where if you're not doing the exact same thing as everybody else, then you're fucking weird. You're an outcast. You're this, you're that. No, you're not. Maybe we're the ones that are the normal ones. Maybe it's us that aren't the weirdos. But again, what is normal and what is weird? I relate to the weird shit, if that's what you want to call it. I don't relate to the normal stuff. Like, I'm not one to be told what to do or what to say or how to live my life. But that's me. And I was brought up that way by my mother. She was a very strong personality. And she was very independent and very much against the norm and being told what to do, dictatorship, or however you want to call it. She was not one for that kind of shit. And she went through it with the Catholic Church. That's another story. What are we, an hour and almost a half? Holy smokes. And I've kept an audience of, there's 7 people, it tells me here. I'm impressed. Anyway, I don't know what time it is. What time is it? I should let you guys go so you can carry on with your day. You don't have to stay here, you know. It's a subject no one wants to talk about or touch on at all. I know, right? But is it to that degree that maybe this wouldn't be of any value, or people wouldn't be able to take anything away from it? Is it something that maybe shouldn't bother doing? Or do you think it would be something worth trying? Because of that fact, you know, like because of the fact that it's not a subject, it's one of those taboo subjects. And I would kind of like to try and create a van life channel that is unique in that aspect. I mean, all our channels are unique in whatever aspect, because it's all our own lives, right? It's all our own individual perspective in life and our van life and whatnot. So it's all unique. But is it unique to the point that it's something of a taboo topic that nobody wants to touch upon? And everybody's afraid to touch upon it for whatever reason. Like, it shouldn't be something that's afraid of. Mental health has always been that taboo subject. Nobody wants to talk about it. Decades ago, centuries ago, it was even worse because, well, you know, and then you were put into a mental institute because, well, you must have this, you must have that, you must be psycho. So you need to be in a psych ward. Fortunately, they don't do that anymore. Because they've realized that a lot of people suffer from things that are pretty common. We're not all perfect. Iron Fire Horse, I have to run, yes. Sorry, yes, and I'm just rambling. But you like the idea. Fantastic. So if I can get enough feedback, positive feedback on it and whatnot, then I think we should try it. I think we really should. I'm more than willing to do it. Anyway, happy Christmas, Merry Christmas. Enjoy your evening, Iron Fire Horse, and I wish you all the best. We'll see you again, eh? Sally Dunlap, no, it would be very positive. You think it would be positive? You think it would be of value? I want your opinion, honest. I do. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's leave it at that then. I'm going to say so long for now. I look like I'm going bald. Oh my God. I think it's just the angle. Yeah, so thanks for stopping by, even though I've been kind of rambling about dry topic. But I honestly think there's people out there that would relate to this. So I, in my opinion, I feel like there would be value to it. But I want to know what your guys' opinions are. And want your feedback. And I want you to tell me. Do you think it would be a good thing to try? And if not, that's cool too. Merry Christmas, Sally. Wish you all the best. And yeah, I'm gonna skedaddle here too, because hour and a half, that's long enough. I don't need to bore you guys anymore. Let's see the dogs for a second here. I'm getting a cramp in my leg. Hey, Smokey, you say Merry Christmas to everybody? Hey, buddy. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. Yeah, he's a good boy. And Jernie. Lovely girl. Alrighty, guys. I think that's it for now. And thanks for stopping by and listening to me ramble on about stuff. And taking part in our little bitty van life here. All right, guys. Merry Christmas, and we'll see you soon. Take care.